Mic check, mic check. Where is my stream? Good morning. Check, 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 check. All right, let's get into it. We're good, right, on the audio? All right, first one on the watch list is SPY. Yesterday, we had a rejection at 673. We had a bounce at 670 the day prior. Got pretty close to 673, but again, a bounce at 670. This morning, we have another bounce at 670. So this establishes now 670 as the point of support. So on SPY today, either we get what's known as an inside day, where SPY doesn't make a higher high, doesn't make a lower low, and stays within this range, which I doubt is going to happen. Either we get an inside day or we get an outside day, where SPY does give us direction, and we probably will likely get a test of the all-time high, or we will get a rejection of this area, which would be a rejection of the all-time high, and this sells off. So the levels today on SPY are tight, and they are tight intentionally. We are straddling the price action from yesterday, and we're looking for what's known as an outside day. So SPY is going to be a long idea above 673 and a short idea below 670. Number two on the watch list is going to be Microsoft. The analysis here doesn't change from yesterday. Remember, we were looking for the breakout of this consolidating range on the daily. Yesterday, Microsoft hits the point of resistance that we printed yesterday, the day prior, and could not break above it. Well, this morning, back to the 5-minute time frame, now we've got a gap up outside of that point of resistance. So we just look for the follow-through top side from here. That's the only thing that we look for on Microsoft. It's going to be a long idea above 520. If this moves up any higher before market open, make sure that we adjust that level up to the pre-market high to make sure that we are taking advantage of the pre-market moves, right? And trying to adjust and make sure that our levels are right for those pre-market moves. Number three, it's going to be Google. Next one on the list. This one is probably going to be my top stock pick of the day, though it's a little wishy-washy. So what I mean by that, yesterday, remember the OpenAI, this happened during our live trading, our Q&A session. OpenAI announced that they are coming out with a web browser that is going to be in direct competition with Google Chrome, right? So Google sells off naturally, but then fully recovers that sell-off here. And then Google claps back with their own form of a news catalyst, a positive reaction to a news catalyst that actually sends this flying in the after hours session, and it's since calmed down quite a bit, but it's a fairly large gap up still. So this does still put Google in play. It actually puts Google even more in play than what it was yesterday at the open. So we're looking for the break of the resistance at $257 for the move higher. There's a lot of different levels here that we could probably trade off of. 257, 257 and a half, 258, maybe even 259 and a half. I don't think that we need to wait for this to get all the way to that peak for us to be able to take advantage of the move. I see the majority of the price action rejecting 257. That is why 257 becomes my long level for today. Up next is, Netflix. Now, I went back and forth on this. Should I put it on the watch list or should I not? But I was looking at the daily for Netflix, and it's really been doing pretty much nothing for the longest amount of time. I mean, we're looking at how many months here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months of Netflix just being stuck in this entire zone, right? With the exception of a little wick or a little breakout up there. So the support here at 1140, if we pull this line back, it's pretty clear, isn't it? 1140, very clear support. We got support there. We've got support here. And then we go to the 5-minute time frame this morning. Wow, look at that. Imagine that, right? Netflix trading right at that support point. So it's a post-earnings trade idea, a gap down from earnings. I know that the gap down is pretty large, but we will be looking for lower lows out of this because the longer the amount of consolidation is on the daily, the larger the breakout or breakdown move can be. So it might be that Netflix has been consolidating for so long because it's been waiting on some sort of news catalyst to push it to either side. So now that we have that news catalyst to push this in a direction, I think that we try to follow suit with the direction that's being established, which is down. So Netflix is going to be a short idea below $1,140. Up next is PLTR. Now, you might be curious, why is PLTR on the watch list? It's been consolidating for a month. This has not been doing anything, if I'm being honest with you. Look at all of this consolidation, right? It's not been doing anything. But what I see here is pressure being pushed. So if we maybe draw this out a little bit, that to me is like a pressure point. This is all pressure being pushed up to this area of resistance. And a lot of times when a stock doesn't look like it's going to break out of a range, it does break out of the range, right? And you get a massive outside day. So I'm kind of guessing or assuming that that's might be what's happening, or an educated guess rather. That this could be, I think the better way to put it would be, I'm trying to anticipate the move. I'm trying to anticipate this move. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it is an educated guess that it could happen based off of the experience that I've had trading. So 5-minute time frame, PLTR is not an immediate watch today. It's not something that right at the open, I'm going to say, yeah, let's keep an eye on PLTR. It's going to go, right? I don't know if that's going to be the case, but it could be the case. And as long as PLTR is trading up here at this resistance point, and as long as it looks like it's continuously pressing this same resistance point, I feel like a breakout is almost inevitable. So PLTR, it's going to be a long idea above 182. It is a gap down this morning. We will be looking for the break of this downtrend trend line here, the reclaim of the previous day's close, sending this from a red to green move, and then we're looking for the move higher beyond that. So PLTR, long idea above $182. We're trying to anticipate a breakout move here. GM. Next one on the watch list, this is a post-earnings trade idea. There's nothing here to the bottom side, so we don't have to worry about anything down below, but I do want to watch for possible higher highs from here. So GM, there's the gap up. This is actually a gap and go, so a gap up from earnings and then the go, and then we're going to look for further follow through on this above yesterday's high of day. So long idea on GM above 67.5. Last one on the watch list is Lululemon, which is also kind of a peculiar name. You usually don't see me put this on the watch list. Lulu has been selling. This is the daily. Selling on the daily, right? Utilizing or treating that 50 EMA as a area of resistance. So now where Lulu is trading at, just above where it's currently trading at, is that 50 EMA, and just above where it's currently trading at is also a gap to be filled. This is your gap overhead right here. So Lulu, if it presses any higher, it potentially starts breaking the downtrend trend line. It breaks out of this month long of consolidation. It starts working on filling the gap overhead and reclaims that 50 EMA. There's a lot of good things going for Lulu here above where it's currently at. So that's why this is on the watch list, even though it's not typically one that we would put a whole lot of attention to when it comes to day trading. This is a really good setup. If this was like, a Mag 7 name, it would probably be the top stock pick of the day. So Lulu long above $183. When it comes to the top stock pick of the day, it's probably going to be Google, just because this news here feels pretty fresh. Though, like I said, we've got to be careful with this because there's conflicting news between the OpenAI web browser being a negative news catalyst and the news catalyst put out after hours for Google that sent this up, that caused it to gap up. So those two news articles may cause confusion, may cause hesitation, and that may lead to this just chopping around. So we got to be careful, got to be mindful of that. But I think that if I had to pick one, Google would be my top stock pick of the day. Somebody said we're all jumping into BYND. Gamble at your own. You have free will. If you want to utilize it, go ahead. BYND, yeah, this thing is running. We looked at it yesterday. It was trading at like $2.50, and then it ran all the way to $3.50 plus. This morning, it's opening up at $7. The stock is up hundreds of percentage points in the past few trading days. So if you want to gamble on this, go ahead. It's a meme stock at this time. Feel free to trade it at your own will. I'm not putting that on the watch list for any new traders. I don't want them getting, skunked in this thing for a pump and dump. But if you can, if that's your thing, go for it, right? I'm not stopping you, but I'm not going to put that on the watch list. Let's see. Somebody else said, I hope you enjoyed London despite the result. A bit too busy of a city for me. Live a couple hours there in the countryside. Yeah, London was great. Other than the Jaguars losing and me getting food poisoning at the end of it, the trip was fine. Thank you very much. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get the full watch list posted for you. Give me 1 second. We will be live trading today. By the way, the live trading here, for anybody that is new, the live trading here is not conducted on YouTube because there is a delay that I can't control. We actually hold the live trading over in the Discord server. Let me get this watch list posted. So to get to the live trading, here's how you're going to do it. In the Discord server, scroll all the way down to the bottom left-hand side of the server. You're going to see a channel called the Voice Channels heading, the Arena. Join into the Arena. You'll see people piled in there already. That is where we will conduct the live trading. So I'll see you over there in about 10 or 15 minutes, and we'll get prepared for the day. All right. Top stock pick of the day, probably going to be Google, but let's keep an open mind and be ready to trade whatever moves and ignore what doesn't. All right, take care. We'll see you over in the live trading. Hope the reviews helped. Thank you so much.